Hello everyone, today I'm going to talk about roots, even roots and odd roots. Again, even roots and odd roots are not very important unless we're talking about a negative base. So here, as an example, I have a -1, right? And the exponent is even. If the exponent is even, it's going to end up being a positive number, excuse me. And if the exponent is odd, it's going to end up being a negative number. So if we give an example, let's give an example, -2 to the power of 3. It has an odd exponent, so it's going to end up being a -8. 2 times 2 times 2, and then we just put the negative sign. Now if I have -2 to the power of 4, we know that 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is going to be 16. But because the exponent is even, it's going to be a positive number. So positive 16. So when it comes to these cases, you have to always look at the even and the odd. Now the next thing we're going to talk about is the roots. Now of course we divide it into even roots, right, which is square roots, and then to the power of 4, fourth roots, you have 6 roots, 8 roots. It doesn't matter. As long as the root is even, you cannot have a negative number. If you have a negative number, it's going to be undefined. Why is that? Because we cannot find a number that we can multiply twice to get -9. We can do 3 times 3 is 9, -3 times -3 is +9. So that's why this is undefined. Same thing for, we know that fourth root of 16 is going to be just 2 because 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is 16. But we cannot find a number that we can multiply 4 times to get -16. That's why if the root is square root, fourth root, sixth root, eighth root, you cannot have a negative number. It's undefined. Now that's not the case for odd roots. You know, if you have cube root, fifth root, you know, you can have fifth root of 2, which is fifth root of 32, which is just 2. That's not the case. You can have a negative here, so that will make it a negative number. So again, because this is possible, because I can do -2 times -2 times -2, and that would give me a negative. That would give me a -8. This is why it's possible a negative number inside of an odd root. So if you have any questions, just raise your hand and I'll post the video. Now the next topic, the next review we have to go through is equations. Now if you have m squared, this type of equations, you know that m is either 3 or -3. That's the answer. In some cases, it's either going to be a positive number, you're going to choose the positive answer or the negative answer. But if this is on a test, I want you to write m is equal to +3 or -3. And I want to make it clear, the correct way of solving it is m is equal to square root of 9. Then m is equal to 3, or m is equal to -3. This is the way I want the answer to be written. M is equal to 3 or m is equal to -3. Now same thing, you know, this is root m to the power of 4. Because 4 is even, it's going to have 2 answers, negative number and a positive number. In this case, m is going to be equal to 4th root of 16, and m is either going to be 2 or m is going to be equal to -2. Now if you have to the power of 3, so we're going to take the cube root. Again, cube roots only have one answer, odd roots only have one answer. So m equal cube root of 8 is going to be equal to 2. And then now same thing here, cube root of -8 is just going to be equal to -2. It only has one answer. Now if one of the answer was for a distance, you would pick the positive number. So I hope it's clear. So the next step, the next thing we're going to talk about is approximation of roots.